There's not any guitar news. Nobody did anything controversial. I just don't know what to make a video about this week. Randy, I told you not to let them leave anything outside my door.
I told them, don't you leave no SQUIER around here. But they left it here anyway. Doop, 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 doop. I don't care.
Damn it, Randy.
You should make a video now, round here. Don't you waste no time. Beep, 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 beep.
Let's open it.
You haven't actually played one. You're just yelling about stuff on the internet. You don't actually... Why don't you actually try it and see?
Okay, you win. Good news is, there's a return policy. This is from Amazon. What is it? It's a Sonic Mustang Torino Red, made in Indonesia. But it's a SQUIER made in Indonesia, not a Fender Fender made in Indonesia. What in the world am I getting myself into? Let's open it. I'm probably going to time-lapse this because this is probably going to take forever. But let's open it. Tape's really loose. Oh boy. It's just in here. There's no bag or anything. It's just in here. Okay. Sorry if the staging and framing is bad. I know that if it's on this chair, you can see it. I'm gonna... Don't you fall, damn it. Stay! Stay there. I need to check and see if it's in the frame. Don't fall. Don't fall. Don't fall. Okay, it's in the frame. Alright. This is what happens when you have a crappy camera and you don't have a flip-out screen. I can't see what you're seeing, so... As long as this is captured, then I can mess with the camera later. Here we go. SQUIER Sonic Mustang. Woo! Oh. And I got a tag. What does it say on the tag? It says assembly U5, setup T5, finish 21st of 21st of I don't know, some month, 2025, T5. So this year. Final inspection was done by Ramen Noodle. Inspected it. You can see it right here. Look. Focus, damn it. Ramen Noodle is the one who... But, hey, look at that. Look at that. Let's put it on the bench. Alright, my workbench is a mess. Sorry. This is it. This is Fender's cheapest guitar, I think. This is the SQUIER Sonic Mustang. Check it out. It happens to be my favorite color. And to be completely honest with you, the only reason I bought this guitar was because I like this color so much. My very first guitar ever, which is over here, is that color. That SQUIER right there. That's an affinity. It's my favorite color of anything, but especially of guitars. What is it? Well, it's got two single coils. It's got a hardtail bridge, but it's not a string through. It terminates right there. Volume and a tone. Three-way switch. Actually feels pretty good. Maple neck. Oversized headstock. If we look at the rear end, you've got a SQUIER. No skunk stripe. Alert. No skunk stripe. Alert. Check it out. ICSD 25008521. No matter what it is, isn't it nice to have something that is made the year that it is? It's 2025. I'm used to having stuff that is like 1979, 1988, 2001, 2025 right there. Now, there's another guitar over here. Look at this trash on the floor. I just cleaned this room. This is the Sonic Mustang. SQUIER, a Bullet Mustang, I should say. And this was the first guitar that we ever did on this channel. Now, it doesn't look the same anymore. It now has a Wonder Bar, a Triforce, a Dirty Fingers, and some aesthetic choices on it. But the bones are good on this guitar. This is the Bullet HH originally. And as a swimming pool route, the neck is amazing on it, I have to say. Yeah, I'm a snob. I'm a guy who has a, look over here, I got a, that's a 79 Strat. And then over here, I've got a 75 Mustang. I got my Gibson SG. I got a lot of crap down here. But I will tell you, this neck is great. But look at it. It's got a skunk stripe. So I think that we might have a problem. I don't know what the hell happened here. Did I do that? This is a 2020 model, locking tuners. But anyway, the only reason that this is out is to compare directly to this neck. I didn't do any research on this guitar before I bought it, by the way. This guitar, I think it was $200, but Fender raised their price. Now it's $230, I think. The neck feels very similar. Not as broken in. Doesn't have 5 years of play on it, but the frets are big. It's kind of sad. I don't like that, but that's just me. I think I'm spoiled. The fret ends feel pretty good. I rate it a 6 or 7 out of 10. Honestly, I haven't even tuned it. I literally got it out and set it on the workbench. I have to say that this neck already feels better than the standard. It's not even close. Now, rose-colored glasses? No, because I hate Fender, and I think they're doing really stupid crap right now, and they're on my shit list. But this neck, I keep doing this over and over because I just want to make sure, feels pretty good. I'm honestly surprised. Are my standards lower because it's a SQUIER? Yes. So in an objective world, if you put this up against any other guitar randomly, I'd probably give it a 5 out of 10. That's just without doing anything. I mean, honestly, all you got to do is take this file for 5 seconds and you'll solve that problem. But let's take the strings off and look inside. I lied. I'm leaving the strings on it that it comes with. I'm not going to turn the truss rod. I'm not going to adjust the action. I'm just going to, as it comes. The average person who buys this is going to immediately plug it in and use it the way it is. This is a Line 6 Spider 2 that we're using, so it wouldn't be fair to plug this into a Plexi and judge it that way, right? So I got it in my Line 6 Spider 2. This is on the clean. We're gonna start with the neck picked up, okay? Let's try the bridge. So right off the bat, I will tell you that the neck feels pretty good. I'm not noticing any hindrance. I'm not playing it and saying, oh man, the fretwork is so bad. It's almost like rubbing my hand, rubbing my hand down the neck has filed the fret, if that makes any sense. It was hanging over a little bit, but just ever so slightly. It's almost like I've polished it down just by playing it. That's not necessarily a good thing, talking about the fret wire they used, if it's that soft, but it could also just be my brain. Let's put on the crunchy setting and see what this sounds like. It's going to be Ice Pick City, I think, because this amp is EQ'd for humbucker, and it's a really dark humbucker. Oh! I don't know, man. What in the hell is going on? Listen. All right, oh, hold on. We gotta do something. I'm gonna put this down for a minute, and I want to show you my pride and joy. Right here. This is my 1975 Mustang. It's bone stock. Okay, this was white once, and then the years of nicotine and cigarettes made it yellow. But okay, look, we gotta have a talk now. I'm blown away. And I'm gonna say right now, this is the best, this is the best new Fender produced guitar that I've ever played. Since at least 2006, 2007. I'm not gonna mention custom shop. Let's say standard production. It's not close. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I just keep looking at it like it weighs like 1 pound. I mean, I have a 15-pound Les Paul Gibson. I like heavy guitars. This one right here is really heavy because I added that trim to it and everything. But like, I brought this box in from the curb and was like, why is it so light? That's a bad sign. And then I got it out, and it was sliding off the chair when I went to check the camera a minute ago. I don't get it. But let's talk about why, okay? We're gonna talk about a couple things. First, the feel. How does it feel? I'm gonna put it on clean so that I can play a little bit while we talk. So how does it feel? It feels great. The switch, let's start with that. If you're an autist and you find comfort in great sounds, for example, you like mechanical keyboards with blue switches, you like IBM Model M keyboards, you like the sound of turning a crank, for example, you like the sound of a good switch, this is gonna do it for you, man. Listen to this, listen to this. It's not like those import switches that you usually get that are all mushy. Like, I probably have one around here somewhere. Let me see. Yeah, here you go. This Les Paul, which we'll do a review on this, is actually super rare. This is not a Les Paul. This is called a stiletto. But anyway, listen to this switch. I mean, this is like the equivalent of a hot dog down a hallway, if you know what I mean. It could just be that it's new, sure, but they used a nice tactile switch. You know, like those game controllers that have the clicky buttons that they don't need to be clicky, but they are. Same deal here. You'll know for damn sure that you've switched positions with this switch. I like that. The knobs, nothing to write home about whatsoever. The pots. I guarantee you these are dime-sized pots in here. They turn, it's not like it's low friction and it's not like it's high friction. It's just, if you really close your eyes and feel it, it feels kind of shit. But it's okay. You can fix that in 5 minutes. For $5 in 5 minutes. But you don't need to. The bridge, nothing to write home about either. It's just a hardtail bridge, and it's the kind I don't like. The strings go in the back, and it sucks to restring this shit because you gotta kind of like curl the string so that when you put it in on the back, it has to come up under the saddle. So you gotta stick your finger like that. You gotta stick it in, and you gotta bend it up, and then pull it the rest of the way through. I don't like that. I hate that. It's stupid. It's got 2 single coils. But I gotta tell you though, those single coils sound amazing. Like, they're super bright. And it's not just that the amp is EQ'd for dark humbuckers either. We plugged in a vintage Mustang, 75, right here. And they sounded really dark compared to these. In my opinion, I'd rather have a super bright set of pickups because you can roll the tone or the volume knob down to take the treble away. You can't add the treble in if it's gone without, going to the front face of the amp and turning. What else? All right, let's keep moving. So, if you move up this way, the neck is really interesting, by the way. This only happens on super cheap guitars. But look. So the neck is maple, the fingerboard is a totally separate piece, and it's super obviously a totally separate color and separate everything. I'm trying to see if I have an example of one that isn't quite like this. Now, let me say that a lot of production maple necks are like this. They just do a really good job of blending it. I just think it's amusing that they didn't even try on this, which is fine. It's the cheapest one they make. Look at that. You got your black dots on your fingerboard. Silkscreen logo, there's literally nothing to say about that. Sealed tuners, no skunk stripe. So this begs the question, is this somehow related to the standard series? Because the standard series doesn't have a skunk stripe either, but the other ones, like the Classic Vibe and the Affinity, I'm pretty sure they do have a skunk stripe. So is the standard sharing wood with this, you think? Wouldn't that be whack if they did that? Plastic truss cover or truss hole cover. Paint, nothing to say. Other than, I really like this. And I was hoping it would be this way. And I wasn't going to say anything about it until just now. And I don't think you're going to be able to see it. But this, the way the paint was applied on this, I love this. Mine is like this. You can almost see like a big broad brush stroke on the paint in certain places. Where like you can tell they sprayed it and then they did broad strokes to get the excess off. I personally really like that. It makes it feel more real and less robot produced. But there was gonna be 2 parts to this. There was gonna be out of the box, because it's gonna be shit, and then we're gonna put it on the bench, we're gonna mess with the action, change the strings, and then we're gonna talk about it again. But we're not gonna do that part, because it's so good as it is. I mean, it's also still in tune after all that. The only way to make this better would be if it had a trem, and I'm completely nuts because I can't do it. I can't do it. Look. I can't do it. This is my Gibson SG. See that tailpiece? I can't do it, man. I gotta have my trim, but other than that, it's great. Now, I'm not angling on purpose here. Preface. I'm not setting this up. I really honestly did not touch this guitar until the moment you saw me touch it. I didn't plug it in or turn it on until the moment you saw me plug it in and turn it on. All I did was tune it, and then I hit start on the camera. So, that being said, I said it before and I'll say it again. This is the best production Fender guitar that I think I've ever played when it was new since mid-2000s. And in my honest opinion, it makes this much worse for Fender. Because listen, if this guitar is that good, why is the standard that bad? Why does the standard have frets poking out and stabbing you? A truss rod that was not turned, it was loose just sitting in there. A bridge that was installed cockeyed. Pickups that sounded like shit. All of this stuff is interchangeable. Yes, the neck is a shorter scale length, but all that means is that they cut it here instead of here. Why in the world can they get this so right and get that so wrong and charge 3 times as much and raise the price from what it was when it launched at $599? Then you just keep going up the chain and it gets worse. The Player 2? I mean, is it objectively a decent Strat? Probably. But is it worth 3 or 4 times this? No, it isn't. I'm being dead serious. If you don't own something like this, go buy it. Not. And this is the part of the video that's hard. Because Fender probably makes most of their money on stuff like this. They probably sell 10 or 20 of these for every American that they sell. They probably produce this guitar for like 90 bucks and they're selling it for $230. That profit margin is whack. And if you multiply that by the number of units they're pushing, that's probably where they're making most of their money. Normally I would say right now, go stop what you're doing and go buy one. But I'm not going to tell you to do that right now. I'm going to tell you to do the opposite. And that's really hard for me to say. This guitar is going to go back. Fender can't have my money. They can't have your money either. Because if you buy this, you're funding everything that they do. You're funding the Standard Series. You're funding the Player 2. You're funding the fact that there isn't a production Jaguar that's affordable. Period. The Player 2 is not a real Jaguar. It doesn't have a rhythm circuit. So you got to get a Vintera, which is over $1,000 for a Mexican Jaguar. So it's just an example of that. The only Player 2 anything that's remotely similar to what it should be is the Telecaster. But what is Fender doing right now? How can this be so good and how can everything else be so bad? Every other decision that they make is just brain dead. Brain dead decisions. They released that vintage Lux whatever Shitcaster recently. It's like $4,000 because they added nitro paint to it. What? That doesn't make any sense. What is wrong with them? Why, Fender? Why? This is basically the modern day Bronco. The Bronco was a guitar that was released back in the 60s and 70s-ish era. They actually offered it in this color, and it had this really funny trim system where it was like a little plate that floated right here. It was really weird, and it had a little cavity, but it was a student beginner guitar. It had a short scale. I think it only had one pickup. I think it was one of these, maybe. This is that guitar today. And the thing is, those guitars are worth a ton of money, and people, they love them because of people like Kurt Cobain, punk and grunge music. used those guitars, not because they were cool, but they used them because they were cheap. They were what they could find in a pawn shop for nothing. And then even when they could afford it, they stuck with what they were comfortable with. Michael Jackson was the same way. His dancing shoes were the cheap penny shoes that he used to wear when his family was super poor and they first started out. Even when he was a gazillionaire, he still used the cheap shoes because that's what he was comfortable with. If you're trying to channel that, this is what you need to get. But here's the cheat code. Do not buy a new one. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Go buy a used one. Because if you buy a used one, Fender already got their money. You're not giving them any money. And you get to have a guitar like this. You can find these now on Guitar Center for like $149 used. And I don't see any reason why you should get anything else, really. If you're getting something from Fender. If you want single coils, this is the one right here. I can't stop playing it. So yeah, this, just like all of my other videos, is not scripted. It's as much of a one-shot as I can make it. Because I don't like the way modern YouTube is, where it's like, I don't know, meme quick cuts and sound effects and the face that they always make and it's so sanitized and it's so, you always wonder, like, who paid them to make this? Well, you know who pays me to make this? You do. When you watch my content, I make money. I don't get money from Fender. I don't get money from anybody. If you buy stuff from my Amazon links, I make money from that. That's it. Everything else, it's just you watching me. So why would I give you something that's a lie? Like, my credibility matters to me. If I'm wrong about something, I'll own it. If Fender fixes the standard and it becomes amazing, or if Fender becomes better about what they do, I'll sing their praises. I mean, around this room right now, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 guitars in this room manufactured by Fender. I've got a Fender Twin right here. Fender is in my blood. I prefer Gibson, but Fender is in my blood. It's not like I have this vendetta against Fender. It's quite the opposite. Disappointment is a lot stronger of an emotion than just hatred. You can hate something, right? You can loathe something. You can have utmost contempt for something. And that's a super negative emotion to have. But disappointment, that's so much worse. Because you used to hold this right here. It used to mean something. It used to be something that you aspired toward. It used to be something that you wanted to have. It used to be something you wanted to be part of. It was like a family or a heritage that you wanted to be next in line for. And then they just shit all over your face. That's much worse than if you just don't like something because, I don't know, you don't like the color, you don't like the aesthetic, you don't like the decisions that the company has always made. The disappointment is hard, and this makes it so much worse. Fender, get your head out of your ass and take this and do this again. Do this with all of your guitars. Here's an idea. Why don't you make this in America, remake the Bronco, make it like this. Make it with this thin wood, because it's real thin. Make it with this two-piece neck. Make it with this stupid tailpiece. Make it exactly the same way. But make it in the United States, then you can call it a Fender. Call it a Fender Bronco. You know how crazy that would be if they did that? If they made this guitar in America and called it the Bronco and sold it for $700, it would sell out. I would buy one if it was this good. I would. But nope, Fender doesn't care about you. They quietly make their best guitar. It's their cheapest guitar. They don't really market it, they don't talk about it because they want you to buy the expensive scam guitars instead. If you go to their website and look at beginner guitars, it shows you the standard series. It doesn't even show you SQUIER now. It shows you the Fender standard series because they make so much more money. It's made in the same place and it costs 3 times as much. This is the best guitar Fender makes today. And it is the best production Fender guitar that I have ever played.
Nice about Fender, good about Fender, bad about Fender, and I don't care.
Shut up, Randy.